If I pray, will you hear me now? Is there hope after tears when I'm walking down? Will it be there for me now? When I'm down, I find myself the lowest ground. Will it lift me up and pick me up and hold me up and face the crown?
Hi, Kris Ferris back here, and we are back again at Two Egrets Media and Recording, our home away from home. And today, I'm fortunate to have Danny Sparks with me. Thank you, Danny, for stopping by. Thank you very much.
Where were you and all those faces all around? Where were you?
Danny and I met up a few months ago. You'd kind of come back in where I was playing one night, and we got to talking, and I got interested in your story, and I said I wanted to get you in here and find out a little more about what's been going on with you. You're kind of on the comeback trail a little bit, and before we go into that, I was curious if you might share with us some of your earlier music history.
Earlier music history to me, mostly all of my friends were musicians, except me.
Except you?
Oh yeah. So I bought my first guitar for $5. Was an applause ovation style, and I took off from there. Getting into the martial arts in 1980, also got involved in doing security for rock bands, Dragon Security.
Mm-hmm. Is that what they call it? Dragon
Security? They called it Dragon Security because it was Dragon style Kung Fu, which was what I was studying.
Gotcha.
So being around bands, backstage, friends that were musicians, and I always felt in my heart to learn guitar, so I started from there, and kind of went uphill from there.
Uphill. That's good. It is. It can be an uphill journey, definitely.
But I truly don't think. I mean, I've always wanted to play guitar, but I don't think that I become the musician that I wanted to. I think more my vocals are probably what I focus on.
Mm-hmm. Did you sing back then? I mean, did you have an opportunity to?
Oh yeah. Singing with other people, friends of mine that were musicians. I would sing occasionally. I had acoustic rock bands, played, sang, but mostly I was just a rhythm guitar player. I didn't push myself any further than that.
No particular ambitions at that point, then?
No.
Yeah.
No. So my music's always kind of been part of my life, but sometimes on the back burner.
Right.
I focus more on relationships and career.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a lot different now, it sounds like, but you've had some personal challenges, and I know that maybe we don't want to get into all the details, but I think it might be helpful for people to hear part of that story.
Correct. Unfortunately, I was set back, lost a career, lost a marriage, lost all the things that I guess we as people take for granted, or we've got it at our fingertips. I lost all of that. Losing that, everything that I've learned in life, I had to turn to my martial arts and survival modes, music to keep my sanity.
Right.
I found myself homeless and living on the streets for the first time. I realized who were my closest friends and who wasn't, who I thought was my closest friends.
I don't think many of us realize sometimes just how close we can be to that experience. So that's why it kind of your story touched me.
Yeah, and I try to look at both sides of everything. That's how I'm wired. I try to look at most people don't want to be involved with drama, as they put it. But what I found through my church, my pastor, one of my very closest friends, is that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you've done in your past or what's going on right now, they're there for you.
Right.
And that inspired me really to go back into what I've always wanted to do, and focus on writing music. and I got more involved in church um, through this spiritually, getting connected. But I was still homeless at the same time. I found my way to church no matter where I was at. I stayed in contact with my pastor daily,
Mm-hmm.
with counseling, and I've learned a lot about myself and why I allow myself to stay in certain situations and why I think that I can fix these situations. And I've learned that I can't be a part of that kind of
Sure.
relationship ever again. I have to really focus on me and my music right now.
So has religion been a part of your life, your
In
your
and
whole
out,
life growing
well,
up?
yeah,
or-
well, yes. I mean, this is another thing I found out in life too, and it's actually one of my songs that I wrote. It actually explains it all. I've been in church in and out most of my whole life, different religions, and I never really found a connection, or I found a reason not to go. And
Mm-hmm.
I always question, like many humans do. They question, when bad things are happening, why has God let this happen? Why do I pray and I don't see any results?
Mm-hmm.
I've learned through all this, and with the church that I'm going through, my pastor took a lot of notice of me and what I've been through, and he's really been there supportive and guided me in the right directions spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, I was able to write 2 songs that I've actually recorded, and one of them actually does question faith. The other song questions being homeless and how I got through it,
Right.
through my own spiritual faith. I was always sort of spiritual, but I think through all this, it kind of pushed some buttons and opened up a lot of doors to head me in that direction.
Interesting. From what I've heard, you haven't spent a great deal of time in that songwriter mind.
Right.
So I'm curious how it works for you.
Well, I grew up with music like everybody else did. The Beatles, Elton John, Billy Joel. A lot of these people were an influence to me.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the songs I tried to learn.
Yeah.
So I've sang karaoke, I've sang with bands, I've acoustic sets out in wine bars. I never thought of myself writing any inspirational song.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find it in my heart. So through all this, somehow I made a spiritual connection. The first song on my CD, Where Were You, I had this idea in my head almost 2 years ago. I came home from church and something moved me, and it was like, because I was still questioning faith,
Mm-hmm.
I was still going through the process, going to church, singing the hymns, going to the front, praying, and like going back to my chair. So the song starts out with, if I pray, will you be there for
Mm-hmm.
me? And that's how it starts out. So you said, so when I think about songs, I visualize the whole scene in my head first.
Mm-hmm.
With that song, I visualized someone going to the front of the church, praying, looking up, if I pray this time, is anything going to change? Halfway through the song, there's some rapping, which I never thought I'd ever do in my life, which somehow I found it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing it. And it actually says, God's always been there for you, but you never allowed.
Right.
And that's kind of what my life has been like. And so I'm at the end of my song right now. I'm like, where was I?
Yeah. Right.
Where was
You were
I?
writing to yourself in a way.
So basically that song is about me. And the second song I wrote when I was in New Jersey during a hurricane, which I ended up walking that too. I wrote that song up there in about 10 minutes during a hurricane, and didn't think anything else about it. It just like came to me really fast. And it's called Is This Real? And it's basically me questioning, is all this stuff that's happening to me, and I'm sitting in the middle of a hurricane in New Jersey, on top of everything else.
Wow.
Is this real?
Yeah. It's kind of surreal, isn't it?
It was very surreal. So I had to actually get out and walk in it to make sure that it was real. So I've got a video of myself actually walking in Hurricane Sandy in Highlands, New Jersey.
Are you going to use that in the music video?
No, I doubt it. Because I might get committed on that one.
What gets me, what I like to hear in a person's voice when they're talking about songwriters, in the break you said something about, I'm on fire. I want to get this stuff out.
Yeah.
And what is that? I can't. I'd like to jump inside a body that feels that and know what that feels like.
It's frustrating for me at the same time because, like I was telling you earlier, I don't think that I'm the musician I would like to be.
Right.
I would love to be like, I mean, I've seen you play effortlessly, and I've had a good friend that effortlessly could sit there, and I'm like, gosh, if I could just play like that, I would have done gone somewhere. But right now I'm on fire with all these things in my head that I want to write about, not just homeless and not just about battered and abused.
I get that, yeah.
I want to go into, and I'm not going to sit and write a bunch of love songs either. I've already done that, been there, lost a shirt, okay? So I'm going to do something that's very inspirational, whatever it's going to be.
So do I take from that you do have some long-term hopes musically?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, I'm trying to round people in my corners. I'm talking to other musicians, and that's why I like coming to the showcase. I'm hoping I can meet people there, and I'm hoping that the showcase gets even bigger, and you're in a huge building to where this is going to become where people are coming from other places to do that.
Right. Now he's talking about the showcase of original music, which happens once a month currently at the Creative Center in Greensboro, North Carolina, just in case you didn't know about that.
And
well,
trust me, I push it because I believe in it and I love it and I think it's wonderful, and I'm just glad there's something like that out there.
We only need 100 more people like you, and
well,
we'll be all over the map.
I invite people. If I invite 20, I know 2 are going to show up.
There you go.
So.
There you go.
The words he chose for you, his plan for you was always broken by you. Trust, just words. You say, you pray, but it's put off from your busy day. You call on him when you run out of things to say. Hey, where you going? Did I hit a nerve? It's not a curve. You make appointments with people, but the Lord could not serve. Where were you when life was falling down? Where were you? It seemed like you always turned me down. Where were you? And all those faces all around.